If you're new here, we're Adam and Vicki, a couple of Kiwis who traded land life for a life afloat. Since then, we've been sailing New Zealand's northern coastline, and the summer of 2023 and 24 we did a final lap of the Hauraki Gulf, enjoying time with our friends and taking Te Tāiko on what would be her shakedown cruise. Over the last 3 years, Adam has worked very hard upgrading Te Tāiko's various systems to prepare Te Tāiko for what would be her first ever offshore passage. We are currently sailing 1200 nautical miles from Opua, New Zealand to Savusavu, Fiji, and this is my and Te Tāiko's first offshore passage. Day 1, as the wind increased, I was trying to hold it together, whilst Garth and Adam were in the element thinking about the delicious shepherd's pie Elizabeth had made us. Day 2 was spent in the company of the various squalls. Adam was still wearing his beloved sheepskin slippers, and Garth was still happy. Day 3 brought some wind and increased waves as a very large low pressure system that was over New Zealand had caught up to us and we were riding the top of it. Adam was happy because we had wind and could go fast, and Garth was happy because he had some of Elizabeth's delicious banana bread for breakfast with a cup of tea I'd made him. By day 4 I had settled in and realised that ocean passages are not always as scary as I thought, and Te Tāiko was actually made for this and was handling it well. And Adam had finally traded in his slippers for sea boots. Garth, well, he was just happy. Now, let's get back to the passage. What are you up to?
Well, we're
insanity.
We're about
Exactly.
we're about 450 miles south of Fiji. We're pretty much in the middle of nowhere. The water is incredibly blue. We're in the big ocean, and I figured we'll best go for a swim. Try this out. I thought once in a lifetime, go for a swim in the ocean. I don't know how deep it is. Let's just say 4,000 meters, and it's going to be followed by a shower. I've got the shampoo ready, the body wash, so it's going to be a very civilised affair. So I've just got a fender tied off, and these two wonderful people looking out for me. Come and rescue me if I need to.
We're gonna have a beer.
I'm gonna have
Adam will be back later. He's swimming.
No, I'm gonna have a beer with you guys very soon. So that's what's gonna happen. I figured, why not? So yeah.
Okay.
Hunting the kraken.
Not much else to say.
Exactly.
You know, I don't know who's more worried, the kraken or me. Pass me that camera.
I'd say it's not the kraken.
Do you reckon?
I'm gonna get your stuff on my hands.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. Do this without hitting myself.
Woohoo! Jumpy.
What are you doing now?
I've just been for a swim, and I thought I'd best have a shower because it's been a few days, and what better place to have a shower than in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Lathering up, gonna jump in, gonna rinse it off with fresh water afterwards.
Nice. Happy?
So, very happy.
Look at that blue.
That's beautiful. Shampoo.
Okay?
That's warm. It's not like super warm, but it's pretty comfortable. Okay, so we're about 400 miles south of Fiji, and we're stuck in the variable belt, which is like the difference between the trade winds in the north and the westerly belt in the south. Just been motoring motoring through the night and it's early afternoon. We're expecting the wind to fill in sort of mid-early hours of the morning, so we've got another probably 12 hours of motoring, I'd say, and then I'm expecting it to fill in from the southwest, so it should be on our quarter, reasonably light. But what we can do is come up into the wind a bit on our heading and power up onto a beam reach to make the most of the light winds, full sail. And because the more easting we make it, we can't make too much easting, put it that way. So it doesn't matter if we head over further east, because when we get near Fiji we can just come on further downwind, and with the wind direction at that point it'll just be more of a broad reach, or we can even jibe if we have to. So there's no harm in going east. So that's the strategy, just waiting for enough wind. There's about 6 knots at the moment, but we need probably 10, anything above 10, enough to keep up our average speed of 5.5 that I'm working to make it into the destination in time. So at the moment we're motoring 5.5 knots straight for Savusavu, but once the light wind picks up, or once the wind fills in a bit more, as long as we can get up a bit more speed, we can definitely sail faster than we can motor. It doesn't take much with this boat. So yeah, we're just buying our time. We went for a swim. I went for a swim. It was the most amazing experience, and it's 4,000 meters deep here, and the water was so blue, and there were tiny little jellyfish. I could see the hull of the boat so clearly, and then the light beams through this beautiful blue water was just amazing. So that was fun, and we've all just had a wash, had a shower, and we're just relaxing in the cockpit, having chats. And I thought I'd just come up to the bow and get a bit of footage. So this is what the middle of the Pacific Ocean looks like in this location. So it's pretty amazing being so remote. There are some other boats, they're out of AIS range, but we know they're here because they don't just disappear, they've just fallen out of AIS range. But you know, they're probably 30-40 miles away, I'm guessing. There's at least two, plus we're aware of another one, but there'll be more. So we're not exactly alone, but there's no one in sight, put it that way, and there's a real feeling of isolation, which is really nice. The ocean's really calmed down. There's a bit of a swell coming up from south. There's been a storm over New Zealand, so I can understand why there's these. It's probably a 2-meter swell, but it's like a period of 12 seconds or so. It's like lovely, just really pleasant, gentle swell. And there's a tiny little bit of wind kind of motion on the water, but not much. So it's really nice. Yeah.
It's really calm out there, so we're just cruising along nicely. Had the engine on, but we're just going to have a bit of time out. Garth's here, enjoying it so far.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Pleasant, a light breeze, sunshine, warm water. Couldn't be better.
Yeah. We've all had a wash, but we're going to celebrate the start of day 5 with a cheese platter. Beautiful. Look at this. So we have our bacon, onion and bacon dip there. Some homemade pickled onions, yum, some yum. Camembert cheese, some pork salami because we have to eat that before we get to Fiji, cucumber, some chips and some cheese. So what do you say?
Yum yum yum.
What better place to have it in? What a beautiful place. We're just drifting now.
Celebrating arriving in the tropics.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Nice.
Very relaxing, eh?
Yeah. Alright, shall we get into it?
Should enjoy the fruits of life instead of
So it's now 20 to 2 in the morning, and on Vicky's watch the wind just came in really quickly. It's about 25 knots arrived, 25 to 30 all at once. So it was all hands on deck, and we reefed the main and re-put out the genoa, a little bit of genoa. Now we're on a broad reach, about 140 degrees apparent wind angle, and about 25 knots of wind, 24, 25. Seems pretty smooth, doesn't seem gusty, and we're doing about 5 to 7 knots. So we might have a bit of tide against us actually. We're going fast, and we've got 279 miles until our next waypoint, which will be in amongst the islands of Fiji, so that's pretty exciting. So that's a bearing of 354 degrees magnetic. So we're on a course of about 10 to 20 degrees magnetic, so just to give us a bit of height with the wind so we don't lose our ground downwind. So everything's good, just got the wind vane working, hydro vane, and just sitting watching it, making sure everything's stable, and it looks like we're there now, so we can relax a little bit, keep an eye out for traffic, and just monitor things as we race along towards our next waypoint.
Okay, so we're day 7 now, we're speeding along, and we're about 300 and something nautical miles from Fiji, and we just thought we'd show you what it's like to cook on board. As you can see, we've got a gimbling cooktop here, and the purpose of that is because not a lot of people know that there's a gimbling cooktop on boats, but the reason we have a gimbling cooktop is to keep the cooktop as stable as possible, so that things don't go flying around, and that's what this is doing. So every time the boat heels or goes over a wave, it balances itself, and it's a good place to just prepare a sandwich or do things because you know it's the most stable height. You've then also got to secure other things, and I'm wedged in here with my hip against here because it's easy to fall over. Cooking some bacon and boiling some eggs at the moment, and then for the first time Adam and I hadn't used these, and Guy showed us how to use them. We've got some fiddles on the side, so that just keeps hold of the pots or whatever we have in there. So yeah, that's what that's like. It's difficult, it's tiring, but we have to eat and keep our energy up. So in the next couple of days we'll be getting into Fiji. Have you got anything to report, Guy?
Only that we've eaten a lot of bacon.
We have to eat all our pork. Fiji doesn't allow pork, and I've over ordered, so pork and eggs. So we're trying our best to get through it, but we've got to the threshold of how much more can we actually eat, and that's where we're at the moment. Adam's resigned himself; he's not participating anymore.
I'm reverting to oranges.
He's going to now have an orange.
He's becoming vegetarian.
Yeah, he's had enough. He's scared that he's going to start smelling like bacon when we get to Fiji, and that the customs won't believe us that we've got no pork on board. Yeah, that's it. But Garth is a trooper. He's standing in there. Yep. He's keeping us going. Yeah. All right.
We're a couple of 100 miles from Savusavu now, just approaching the bottom of the Fijian Islands, and it's pretty windy as predicted. It's sort of 25 to 35 knots, and the second reef in the main, and the head sail is pretty heavily reefed, and we're just charging along at 7, 8, 9 knots straight for our waypoint, so it's all good, reasonably comfortable. It's now the 30th of May, and we're just coming into the bottom of Fiji, just lining up for a waypoint, It's pretty boisterous out, sort of 25 to 40 knots wind, but we're going okay. We're on a nice broad reach. We're cruising at 7 to 8 to 9 to 10 knots, and we're just going to nail this waypoint. So it's going to be good to get into the lee of the island, but for now everything's good. So it's the 1st of June and we got into Fiji yesterday. We're at Naui Island Marina, which is really nice. Really enjoyed it. We just had a really quiet night last night. In fact, it was all in bed by 7:30. It was an early night. So we went across to Savusavu and grabbed a meal out, which was a real treat. We had a really nice curry. There's a little boat that takes you across the river, so that was cool. And we've just been washing the boat down, cleaning everything up. During the trip we had a bit of an issue with the fan on our head, so we're just going to go on a trip across the river on the boat, and there's a guy over there that sells computer parts, so hoping to be able to get another case fan just so we can keep our system working. So we're just waiting for the boat, and it's just a very short ride over to Savusavu, so we'll show you a little bit of Savusavu now. First impression of Savusavu?
I love it.
Yeah?
I love it. It's remote, doesn't have a lot of stuff, it's just perfect. Lots of coconut palm. Yeah.
There's a few cars around. That guy's a taxi.
It's hot.
Well, opposite that marketplace we walked through last night.
Okay.
That was awesome.
Yeah. Just so
Great. It's definitely like less touristy and more like real life.
Awesome, eh?
It's pretty real.
Saturday morning,
People around the street.
I'm going to have an interesting taxi ride from what I've just seen the last few minutes.
it's only 2 Ks. That's over that hill.
Oh yeah.
That's where the airport is. Yeah.
You say goodbye.
I don't leave that with my passport in it. Awesome, guys. Thanks, Adam.
I'm going to miss you. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me. You guys will have a great time.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, we'll text and call when we get there.
Yeah. Give us a
Sweet.
call when you get home.
All right. We'll
Yeah.
do.
See you guys.
See you. Bye.
Take care, man.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed our video, please consider subscribing to our channel, give us a thumbs up and share with others who you think may enjoy it too. A huge thank you to our Patreons for their support. Head over to our website where we share other information such as blogs, skipper logs or the latest news. If you'd like to support the making of our videos and find out what we're doing in real time, head over to our Patreon page and join the crew. Once again, thank you so much for watching and we'll see you next Sunday.